How to self-publish a book. Like many people out there, you may have had an idea for a book you would want to write and publish. Or you may just be thinking of one day becoming an author, but you just haven't figured out how you can publish it, which in turn makes you procrastinate on writing the book. I believe that if you click onto this video, you are definitely looking for some actionable steps that you can easily implement so as to be able to finally write that book you have been long dreaming of writing. You have come to the right place because in this video, I'm going to give you all the information you needed to be able to self-publish your book, so make sure you stick till the end of the video so that you don't miss any little bit of information. Now, before we look into the actual steps of self-publishing a book, I want us to have a look at some of the advantages you as an author can get from self-publishing. In most cases, authors can always opt to go with the traditional way of having a publisher, but it always ends up bringing them some disadvantages which can be avoided by the author when they choose the self-publishing route. You may be asking yourself, what are these advantages that I could get from self-publishing? Advantages of self-publishing. Number 1. Having full control over the publishing. When you put in lots of efforts in writing your book, it is very essential that you have control on what happens during the publishing of the book. That is something that authors who follow the traditional book publishing route don't have. As a self-publishing author, you get to control all the things involved in the publishing of your book. Number 2. Keeping more money. When you self-publish your book, the revenue you will be getting from the sales of the book will be much higher since there will be no one taking a cut from the sale of the book. Meaning, from each sale of the book, a large percentage of the sale will be retained by you. Number 3. No limitations. When you self-publish your book, you will be more free to take your book to heights that your book wouldn't reach having been published by a traditional publisher. Self-publishing means there is no one to criticize you and the opinions in your book. Those are some of the major advantages you can get for self-publishing your book. Let's now move on to the steps that you can take to get you a self-published author. Step 1. Write a book that people would want to read. The first step of self-publishing a book is to write the book itself. You can publish a book that is not yet written. To achieve success with your book, it is important that your book is one that people would want to read. A book that can be marketed well. To write a good book, you need to understand your audience early so that it would be easier to write something that when marketed to them, they will buy. Follow these steps to properly understand your audience. 1. Pick out a genre. The first step to understanding your audience is to pick out a genre that you'd like your book to be. This is a very important step because the quality of your writing depends heavily on it. When your writing quality is good and speaks perfectly to your audience, your book will be loved. 2. Find out what people say about the genre you have chosen. Once you have chosen a genre you'd love to write in, you will need to listen to what people say in the genre you are about to write in. Find out things like what they face in the genre or even the things that they like more about the genre. 3. Look up the top books in your genre. You will need to look up top performing books in your genre and what they are doing. You can find them on marketplaces such as Amazon. Remember that your main focus while in this step should be to gain the strengths and weaknesses of the currently good performing books in your genre. After you have identified the strengths and weaknesses of the book in your genre, you will need to find out the things that they didn't add but you feel should have been in the books. This is what will make your book different from the rest and therefore make it more desired by your audience. Once all that is done, you can then write your book with all the new information you have gained from that exercise. Step 2. Editing your book. Once you have written your manuscript and you believe all that is written should be shared to the world, you need to take your book edited in a professional way. Having your book edited enables it to be on the same level as the books published by traditional authors who in most cases always have full-time editors to properly edit the books. You can decide to edit the book by yourself or you can get yourself a professional editor to edit the book for you. You as a self-publisher may not have access to a full-time professional editor, but that shouldn't be a stress anymore thanks to the many service platforms that have come up over the years to offer such services. Some of the best platforms to find editors within your budgets can include Reedsy, which is solely built for connecting publishing authors to freelance professional editors. The best thing about using Reedsy is that you can find an editor who is experienced in your genre. Other freelance platforms where you can also find professional editors include Upwork and Fiverr. Step 3. Creating an attractive book cover. Once you have the contents of your book written and properly edited, you will need to create an attractive cover for your book. You have probably heard of the phrase, "Do not judge a book by its cover," right? Well, people actually judge books by their covers, so you need to make sure the cover of your book is really attractive. Book covers are what people look at first before even looking inside the book. So, whether the content of your book cover is top tier, if your cover is not attractive enough, not many people would look at it. So, how can you make sure the cover of your book is attractive? Just like editing the book, you can do it by yourself, and that is only if you properly know your way around Adobe Photoshop. If you are not very good at it, I would advise you not to do it on your own and get a professional to do it for you. In most cases, they will know what they are doing. You can get a freelance designer to create the cover for your book from platforms such as Reedsy, Upwork, and Fiverr. Step 4. Format your book. Once you have written your book, you will need to format it. Formatting your books means giving it your final touches and making sure it is in the right format you would like it to be. In this step, you will do activities such as optimizing the title page, the copyright page of the book, the dedication page, and the contents page. In this step is where you will also find an ISBN number for your book. Step 5. Choose your publishing platform. Once you have written your book, had it edited, and then had your attractive book cover created, you will then need to choose your publishing platform. One of the most popular publishing platforms you can use include publishing through the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Having begun as a book-selling website, Amazon has grown and optimized itself to make it easy for authors to sell books. You can use their Kindle Direct Publishing platform to publish your book, and the thing which makes it even better is that they will push your book to readers in your genre. Having been built with a self-publisher in mind, Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing gives very clear details on how much royalty you as a self-publisher gets and the other related costs. If you would not like to go with the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing platform, you can use others such as print-on-demand books and Reedsy. Step 6. Launch your book. Once all of the first 5 steps are done, you will now launch your book to your audience. In this step, you will need to set up a website for the book and all the details on how it can be found. Step 7. Market the book. Once the book is launched, you will now need to begin the task of marketing the book. Some of the best ways you can use to market your book includes building a social media personal brand where you can connect with the audience of your book. You can share the news of your book to your email list if you have one, or even get interviewed on podcasts in the genre of your book. With that being said, it's time to end our video. Now that you know how to self-publish a book, leave a comment below stating exactly when you want your book to be published. This will make you accountable for your goal of publishing your book. Come back to your comment once it's done to let us know how your process was like. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing videos like this.